The Queen Studios quarter scale Wonder Woman with that awesome Gal Gadot portrait has entered the secret sanctuary. Hey guys, welcome back to the sanctuary. It's a big exciting day here. I've been waiting for this statue for a very long time. I have history with this particular piece. You might remember that when it was first introduced, first brought up for pre-order, I was not very happy. It's a quarter scale piece. It's not a huge quarter scale piece. You know, we have quarter scales in different sizes. And I thought the price was really high. I think it was $940 from my distributor, Spec Fiction Shop. And I thought, my gosh, that's a lot of money for a quarter scale. Now, this was a couple of years ago. This is back when Prime 1 was still asking $1,000 for a 1/3 scale. And so I thought, I was really frustrated because I love the piece. I especially love the portrait, the Gal Gadot portrait. But I thought, God, do I really want to spend that much money on a quarter scale piece? So I talked about it on Statue Forum. I talked about it I bitched about it on Facebook, everywhere. On Batman Statue Collector, Rogues Gallery Live, I talked about it all the time. That price is crazy. So then, then they released the edition size. The edition size is $2,890. And I got pissed off again. I even did a video about, did they set the edition size too high on the quarter scale Wonder Woman? It seemed like a high edition size for a high price piece. But guess what? I ordered it anyway because I'm a doofus. And I just really wanted it. So somehow I justified in my brain that $940 was okay for a quarter scale piece when they were really only going for about $600 at the time. And I bought her. So let's take a look and see if I got my money's worth. So I remember when this was first revealed, I contacted John at Queen Studios and I said, John, how are you going to handle the switch out portrait? How is there not going to be a hideous neck seam on this piece? And without going into specifics, he just said, Jeff, don't worry about it. We're going to take care of it. It's going to be awesome. So I had faith in John. And it turns out my faith was justified because what they ended up doing was a full switch out torso. So we have a new torso for the comic-based portrait and then another torso for the movie-based Gal Gadot portrait, which is awesome. Not only because it works really well, we don't have that ugly neck seam, but also it helps justify the high price. I don't mind as much paying $940 if I get the full switch out torso, no neck seam, everything looks beautiful. I'm so glad they did it this way. It really worked out well for collectors. Now, the portrait on this piece is the most important thing for me. This was the selling point. This is why I wanted the piece so much. It was really important to me that they match the prototype, and I think they have. It's a gorgeous portrait. It's really beautiful. And I'm not sure how they did the eyes. It's really hard for me to believe that those are stickers. You know, in a lot of Sideshow's premium formats, they use stickers for the irises and pupils. And there's so much reflection in this, it's hard for me to believe that that's what they did here. And also, they're perfectly centered, which is great. Just a beautiful portrait. The whole piece suggests a lot of movement, not just in her pose, but also in this kind of kinetic base where there's parts of this column just coming up into the air and hitting her in the leg, flying all around. It's a really nice base, very well painted. It does look like rock or marble. Got the nice insignia there. Really well done. Get a rear view of her. Hair is done extremely well. Really nice sculpt on the hair. Just beautiful. And good texture on the skin. Let me see if I can get a better view here. It's not just flat. There is texturing there. It looks really nice. I don't know how Queen Studios manages such precise paint work. Their paint application is really spot on. It's extremely well done. I'm really impressed by it. One thing that bothers me about Queen Studios is I don't know who sculpted this. There are a lot of references on their website to the team. Well, who's the team? I'd like to give some credit where credit's due. And Queen Studios doesn't really allow me to do that. So if they're listening, we'd like to meet the creators. How about some videos with the creators of these great pieces? I'm also really happy that they didn't skimp on her muscles. She's got a pretty good arm going here. A lot of Wonder Woman statues go purely for beauty, and there's some good musculature going on here, and some great beauty as well. Look at the flow of her hair. That's awesome. And you can see there's some nice vein work there. Okay, one complaint I have about this piece is it's very hard to do the switch outs. It's no problem switching out the torsos, but anything involving the lasso is a pain in the butt. If you just want it attached here, this does not open up in any way, like a clasp or a snap or something like that. So you need to feed the entire lasso through this little hole. It's just kind of a pain. I guess they couldn't come up with a good alternative. And it's equally difficult to have her using the lasso. It takes a bunch of work to make that happen. I will show you that option, of course. Let me give you a side view here. Really, really sharp. Looks great. All right, let's take a look at the comic-based portrait. All right, briefly, I'm just going to show you this portrait with the shield, just to give you my opinion, which is that the shield just does not work at all. It just blocks the portrait too much. So the shield, this will be the first and last appearance of the shield in the sanctuary. It'll be going into the box where it will stay for the remainder of time. So, even though it looks cool with the sword, I mean, you really literally only get like a peekaboo view of her face from this angle only. So it just doesn't work. Some people suggested, is there any way that the shield could be in her right hand? Would that be possible? But I guess that didn't get to Queen Studios, or they couldn't make it work. Anyway, a fun option, but it just doesn't work with either portrait. And here she is without the shield. And I think this is a really good option. If you have a comic-based display and you wanted a comic-based Wonder Woman, this is a beautiful face. It's a great portrait. It's a really good option. Nice large eyes, piercing blue. I don't think anything else is different. I think the hair sculpt is the same as the other portrait. I will be using the Gal Gadot portrait. That was what sold me on the piece, as I said. So as beautiful as this is, I'll be using the other portrait. But no complaints about this at all. If you bought this for the comic portrait, I think you'll be just as happy as I am with the movie based. Here she is with the lasso. The lasso, it takes work. I probably just spent about 15 minutes trying to get this to work correctly. One end goes into her left fist right there. And then you just kind of wrap it around to her other fist, and you have to feed the lasso all the way through this fist for the remainder of it to go around her midsection and then down below her knee where the other end goes in right here. And there's a hole right here it goes into. But to get it to the point where it's not just draping against the body, but actually looks like it has motion to it, so it's away from the body, takes a little bit of work. It is, wire. It's very easy to work with. But to get it the way you want it, I still need to work on this a little bit to make everything a little bit more circular. I don't like those little bends like here. I want it to be perfectly circular because this is probably how I'm going to display it. But the frustrating thing is, because it takes a little time, it's less likely I'm going to be switching things out often. I do like the sword in the left hand and just the bare fist on the right hand. I think that's a really good option, the way I showed it originally in the first shot. But I think maybe this was designed for the lasso, and I think the lasso adds movement to a statue that already had movement, but it makes it very kind of fluid and kinetic. So you know what, shoot me a comment and let me know what you think. What is the best option for displaying this piece? Would you go with lasso? Would you go with sword? Some people are thinking just go two bare fists, which is another option for her. I think all the options look good, but it does kind of bug me that it takes a lot of work to switch them out. I know most people pick their favorite and just stick with it, but I don't know, I switch mine up from time to time. I'm probably, to be honest, always going to use this portrait just because I like it so much. But, the sword or the lasso, those are both two really good options. I think maybe I'll live with it with the lasso and then decide if I want to keep it this way or go to the sword. And then I'll probably just keep it one way or the other. I think I'm going to have her on a bit of a riser. She's only 17.5 inches tall because she's got this wide stance. So that makes it a shorter piece than most of my Sideshow premium formats, except for I got the Queen Studios Tom Holland Spider-Man. He's kind of short. Well, he's very short compared to the Sideshow pieces. There's a good chance I'm going to sell my Sideshow Wonder Woman. I think I like this new one better. And I currently have 3 Wonder Womans between these two and the museum from Queen Studios as well. So I don't need 3 Wonder Women, so there's a good chance I'll be selling my Sideshow premium format. I just love this one a lot. Maybe it's because it's new and shiny, I don't know. But I think this is my favorite Wonder Woman now. Anyway, that's the lasso. Let me know what you prefer, the lasso or the sword or bare fists. All right, I got to show you this art box because it's beautiful. I don't know if you guys display your art boxes. I do not. I don't have space for them, but you could certainly display this one. Beautiful close-up image on this side and then a full image on this side. Really, really, really nice art box. And then it just has Queen Studios on each side. ages 14 plus, nobody younger. Just blank on the top and blank on the bottom. So I like this one myself. I think that's a beautiful image of the statue. That would look good in any display. So clearly I'm happy with my purchase, even though it had that big price, but we get those 2 torsos. So I think you'll be happy with it too if you have this on order. If you don't, it might take a little hunting. I know that my distributor, you can waitlist it there. You can join the wait list and maybe get one from him at Spec Fiction Shop. Or you can hunt around. There's other distributors that carried it, but I'm not sure if they have any stock left or not. To be honest, at this point, it would surprise me. This has been an extremely well-received piece by those the few really who've received it so far. I haven't heard any complaints at all, except for it taking time to switch out some pieces. It's a really, really beautiful piece. Again, I'm so happy that they were able to achieve it in polystone, and the texturing on the skin is really, really, really well done. And the paint apps. How does Queen Studios do it? Between this and the Spider-Man and the 3 museum pieces, the paint apps have been great on all 5 of those pieces. Oh, and the Vision Bust to make that 6. So Queen Studios are really doing well. They're really putting out some quality products. I have a lot of faith in them. So I'm excited about the pieces I still have on pre-order. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And have a great weekend. Take care.